Hello and welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. Welcome back to yet another Crypto Empire Sunday live stream. I am your host, Connor from Crypto Empire, also known as the Crypto Emperor. You can call me whatever you like, just don't call me late for dinner. Now let's get right down to business. I do want to welcome everybody to today's live stream. We have Reverend Flashback saying, "Hi Connor. Hi, my brothers and sisters, greeting from Europe. Thanks for the stream in advance, Connor." Reverend Flashback, great to see you here nice and early in the live chat. We got CRO8 saying good morning from the Gold Coast, Australia. Shout out to all of the Aussies out there in our live audience, watching the replay in the future, catching the Crypto Empire Sunday live stream. We got All Day Dre in the building. We got Mr. Sellers Homes. If you're just tuning in right now, smash up that like button down below. You already know what to do. Let's get down to business. Let's hop right into the computer and get started with our crypto market overview. So looking at the crypto market right now, Bitcoin trading at $21,196, Ethereum trading at $1,608 flat. Top 10 relatively unchanged. If we look at today's gainers and losers, we got some gainers today. A bunch of low caps look like they are pumping. Telcoin up 21%. Fallon Network, Polkadot project up 50% on the day. Singularity, which is the other AI project that I am somewhat interested in other than FET AI, up 15%. And we got some other ones up here, up nice and big, but really not a lot of large caps other than Chili's pumping today. Now Chili's I've been covering before everybody else. I entered my trade personally on Chili's at 19 cents. I don't know anybody really who has a better entry on this pump than myself on this one here. So I'll pat myself on the back real quick. Now I'm just kidding. Anyway, let's see today's top losers. Step in down 23%. And other than that, not a lot of top losers, right? Everything is pulling back from major pumps. I do want to talk about these pumps today in the midterm elections and what that does mean for crypto. Are we going to crash afterwards? What's going to happen on November 8th? That really should be the question on everybody's mind right now, right? Because the midterm elections are most likely, almost definitely fueling this current crypto rally. So is it going to sustain, or are we just going to collapse like a house of cards after these elections? We're going to get into a lot of that in this stream, as well as a lot of other things that are happening in the crypto industry right now that will have significant impact if they do develop further. Some kind of negative things like FTX and some stuff going on with Hex. I'll be talking about all of that in this video, so be sure to stick with me until the very end. But let's get into our Bitcoin technical analysis and start heading into the charts. Now, before I go over my TA, shout out to Ramona saying hey with a little peace sign. What's going on, Ramona? How are you? We got Joran saying good evening from the Netherlands. What's happening, Joran? Thanks for attending the live stream today. We have Magnus saying nice to see you. Magnus, great to see you here in the live chat as well. Smash up that like button if you haven't already smashed it. We got LG saying hi, hey Connor, the Crypto Emperor, let the gains be with you. Yes, sir. What's going on, LG? And we got Moby Sage saying, hey Connor, I finally have time to be here live instead of the recording. Thanks for going through things today. Smash the likes. Yes, sir, Moby. Good to see you. I'm glad you have some time. And we got Patrick with us, longtime Crypto Empire subscriber and supporter here, saying what's happening between CZ and SBF. I'll cover that in the stream, Patrick. But first, let's go over our Bitcoin TA. So on the 4-hour chart, pretty obvious bull flag forming right now. And we are holding the 21,162 support level. So 4-hour, as long as support holds here, you would expect a bull flag to be bullish and push out of here up to our next supply zone, which is going to come into play right here at $21,700. So that's the obvious thing happening right now. We're going to see if we get that during this Sunday, or if we just have the other option of going sideways here, just chopping until after midterms, until we get the real move, actually chopping along the support, maybe a liquidity flush back up, and just be range bound for a little bit. So Bitcoin, it looks good, right? We have a bullish looking pullback right now on the 4-hour. And if we go to this chart, our September high, if we go to the daily, is up here at 22,700. I'm still targeting this level. I do still think Bitcoin will reach this level. Most likely, if it's going to reach it at all, it's going to be this week. All right, today is November 6th. We have Monday, the 7th, and then the elections are on the 8th. And then the 9th is, of course, the big day. We're going to figure out what the markets want to do after the elections. We're going to see if this was all just a phony pump or not. So with that being said, in terms of trade entries, there are still opportunities for longs. A bunch of altcoins do still look good. But the thing is, we were very early to this pump. We've already extracted a relatively significant amount of money depending on your account size, etc. We've extracted a significant amount of money from the market here. So the thing is, we don't want to be too greedy. All right, we don't want to keep on trying to take from the market. Now, the market is ever providing it. It's always there. And if you have this skill set to extract money from the market, it will always be there. But you have to know when to walk away from the table sometimes. Just like when you walk into a casino and one of your first hands, you bet kind of big and you hit it, it's a smart idea to just get the heck out of there, right? Take your win. It's pretty similar right now with my philosophy on the market, right? I've had a very, very good past 2 weeks. It's not time to force the hand right now. It's time to play it relatively safe. You don't always need to trade all the time, especially if you just had some big weeks. So keep that in mind. Depending on what you have been doing the past 2 weeks should dictate what you do here going forward with the midterms. Don't force the envelope, right? If you've already extracted good money from the market with your trading, well then, keep those gains and use it to upgrade your life. That's why we do this. That's why we stare at the screen so much. Not to be zombies and just keep on doing it over and over again. We're human, right? We need to enjoy this life that we have here. So keep that in mind. That's kind of my thought process on my personal trading plan here. I'm still looking for trades, but the thing is, I'm not going to force anything unless the chart is screaming at me to go enter one. Then I'm not going to take it. Very simply put. So that's Bitcoin on our daily chart right here. And again, if we go back to our 4-hour, it's very obvious, right? The levels on the chart, 21.7K, then 22.7K are the levels that you should have marked on for our upside. Now, pullbacks, right? All of our support levels are very clearly defined here. 20,890, 20,738. If we do pull back, 20,738 is where I would look for the pullback to conclude. This level needs to hold at 20,738. If that doesn't hold, then we could be looking for, much lower tests. So that's Bitcoin right now. Everybody should be up to date. I covered this in detail yesterday in yesterday's live stream. I do assume that everybody did watch it. Now let's take a look at the BLX real quick. This is the macro Bitcoin chart. And the reason I want to show you this chart right now, we're looking on a log scale, is just to take some date and time measurements of some previous bear markets. So in 2017, the peak of the market happened on around the 11th of December, and the market bottomed out around a year later, 371 days. All right, and if we look at the current bear market, how long we have been going for, from the peak of the market to where we are now, if we take a date and time measurement, this has been going for 357 days. All right, so relatively similar, right? This one was 371 days until the bottom, which happened in December of 2018, a year after. And here we are, basically a year after the peak of the market, 357 days. So a very similar time horizon here, which is why it's important to, ask yourself, are we actually kind of bottoming out here, or is this really just a fake pump altogether? Now, the technicals certainly give us information that we're very close to the bottom. Even if we come back and retest lows at 17.5, even if we go and hit my levels that I've been talking about at 14 to 16K, it's not that far away. So you should be planning for the bottom to be in relatively soon. Now, the macro situation does look very ugly. The macro is above all else in terms of the Federal Reserve, what they do with interest rates and the overall economy, right? That really is the most important thing. But just using the previous data that we have on the charts, we're very close to the bottom, all right? So keep that in mind. All the perma bears saying Bitcoin is going sub 10K, I think they are totally wrong, totally off the mark. All right, so that's my kind of overall longer term thesis here on the market. I hope that does make sense. It should make sense. If you have any questions about that, just ask it in the live chat right now while we're live so I can answer you live and you get the answers to your question right away. Looking at Bitcoin dominance as well. Bitcoin dominance still in critically low levels, which means it's very good for altcoins right now. We're very good in a good spot to see altcoins continue to pump as long as Bitcoin dominance stays sub 41% here, and it's still sub 41% in this green shaded area, this green zone, meaning that we're in prime pump conditions still for altcoins, and we've been seeing that play out over the past few days here. Shout out to Andrea saying, hello, my man Connor. What's happening, Andrea? How are you? CR08 saying Curito looking good. And MZY Yonda saying, I've been missing these streams lately. Good to catch one again all the way from South Africa. Good to see you here. Thanks for tuning in from South Africa. Appreciate your support. Moby Sage saying, how do you think 2023 will go after Jerome Powell says ongoing increases for rate hikes and extremely premature to pause? It's a good question, Moby, but that's kind of asking the hypothetical, right? The what if scenario. How do I think 2023 will go? Like I just said, Moby, I think we're close to the bottom. So 2023 sideways basing range bound for the most part early, and then I think the trend will flip officially bullish, most likely late quarter one of 2023. We're going to come to the end of this bear market, and then we'll be in what's called pretty much like the silent bull market, where everybody thinks it's still the bear market, but the trend actually flipped. And that's the opportunity to really set up your longs and set up your investments to ride that into the next bull market. Similar to what I just showed you here, Moby, in this BLX chart, right? Talking about kind of like the silent bull market where nobody really thinks it's happening, right? Crypto bottomed out over here in April 2019. We snapped the ascending triangle, and Bitcoin pumped here basically 200%. And then we had the March 2020 crash. But if you just bought basically any time over here, you would have made an amazing return on your investment. And that's how the beginning of 2023 is going to be, in my opinion. Not financial advice at all. But there's going to be another one of these. And then after that, there's going to be another one of these where we go, multiple 100% for Bitcoin in terms of gains. So that's my kind of outlook for 2023. Now, talking about what CRO is saying about QRDO. QRDO is a trade that I had shared with you in yesterday's live stream. I've also been sharing it with my Discord group. And if we look at QRDO, it's very simple what our trading plan was here. Let's go to a 4-hour. Our trading plan was very simple. It was to front run the breakout of 22 cents. 22 cents is the main support resistance level on the chart, SR flip. And the plan was to front run this breakout. And we did get the pump. But notice how these candles aren't really filled too well when we pumped. Just blow this up so everybody can see it better. These candles weren't really filled too well when we pumped, and we came basically right back down to that SR flip level at 22 cents. So we really want to see this hold as support now, or else we're just going to continue to trade below it for QRDO. But nonetheless, we got a 13% pump, but that's nothing. In terms of targets for this, I would not recommend touching leverage with this. Should be spot only, but it's your money, so you can do whatever you want. But in terms of our targets for this one, you can play a scalp to 26 cents. After that, we have 38 cents. Then above that, we have the supply zone coming into play at 46 cents. So these are your targets for this QRDO trade. And upside, about 120% from the entry shared in yesterday's live stream. So playing out so far, but we need to close this candle way higher on the daily. We cannot have this wick. This wick is a no-go. This is bad, right? This wick needs to be filled. There needs to be some meat on this bone, on this candlestick, all right? Or else it's just a false breakout. Now, while we're looking at a few altcoins, we might as well take a look at Chili's. So Chili's, again, the World Cup hasn't even started yet. We took Chili's at 19 cents here, and this thing's going vertical. Now, in yesterday's live stream, I was saying, be a little bit careful about buying up here at resistance, because objectively speaking, this is resistance, all right? If you would have bought, though, you obviously would be in a profit right now. It was a high-risk trade. That's why your entry in trading is the most important thing, right? Your entry is everything, especially if you're using margin, if you're using leverage. So that's why being early pays off massively. If you manage to enter with us down here at 19, you're up over 50% spot. Even if you just use a little bit of leverage, even with the 2x, you would be up over 100% on the trade. So your entry is crucial. If you want to find out the best ways to enter into trades early before they take off like this, you're in the right place right here at Crypto Empire. This is where we dominate the market. I'm live every single Sunday. I share with you my videos throughout the week. I have so many resources out there teaching you how to find these moves before they happen. So you're in the right place to become the trader that you want to be. You need to put in the work yourself, of course. There is no handouts. This is not an easy thing to do. It is not for everybody. But if you have that fire inside of you, that desire to learn, you're in the right place. So stick around. If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. Chili's looking super good. My target for this trade is up here at 44 cents. This is where I'm going to realize my full profit and cash out of my long on Chili's. Just going to keep on riding it, right? Stop loss is already at break even. This is a risk-free position. There's no stress here. There should be no stress with your trades right now. If you're stressed out trading, it's because you're forcing things. And that is not a good recipe to be profitable. You should not be forcing anything. Just let it come to you. When you see it, you take it. Really, that's the best way to do things without losing your mind completely, because this can be a very stressful job, which is why it's so important to get a good entry. And you can just take the ride up, right? We have somebody asking, Anna Maria, how are you, Anna Maria, saying, hello, please tell me more about Band. What do you think it will happen? What do you think will happen next? Till when can it correct so I can buy it for long again? Let's check it out. Let's look at Band protocol. So Band would definitely be a little bit careful buying it now. Now let's hop this over to a 3-day price chart. So Band, I remember when Band was over here. This was February of this year. I remember this play out. These were the final exit pumps before the major sell-off. We'll look at Ren in a second, Andrea. So I remember Band back here in February of this year. It's like 8 months ago now. Insane how fast time is going. But we're right back to that level. This demand zone was the previous biggest demand zone. It held for, it was formed in August of 2020, and it held until April of 2022. So this is a multiple year demand zone on Band protocol up here, starting from $2.87 to $4.21. Now it's of course supply, right? Support flip to resistance here. But this is a significant level. What we want to see happen with Band, if we're going to see continuation, is we want to see closes in this green zone, because basically there's just a ton of liquidity in here, in this green. All right, so the liquidity needs to get eaten if we're going to see continuation. So I would expect choppiness if we can actually get in this green box. Now, if we never get above into the green, well, then you would look for it to come back down. The obvious place for a retest is going to be this level at 188. All right, 188 was the previous top of the range. So if we do sell off from here, if you're looking for a spot to add to your long-term bags, $1.88 is that level for that. And obviously, after something just goes vertical like this, again, another one where I don't know anybody else who told you about Band when it was down here before it pumped at $1.15. I'm not sure anybody else mentioned it. We did here at Crypto Empire, so you should not chase it up here, right? Let it go. Don't touch it now. Wait for it to come back down. The trade is done. There's no trade here. It already happened. It already played out. Trades are just like a train at a train station. There's always going to be another one coming. All right, so you should never be forcing it. We got Magnus, what with sand? Let's take a look at the sandbox. Guys, we have 47 viewers and only 17 likes. Smash up that like button right now. I greatly appreciate your support, and it really helps out the YouTube algorithm. It shares the stream to more people on YouTube, so it's a win-win for everybody. Smash that like button right now. Help me grow the channel. I appreciate your support. Smash up that like button. Thank you. So looking at the sandbox, let's go to a daily chart. So sand here, looking at this, we had a nice daily trendline break, and we have been getting rejected from this supply area, this red shaded zone, and we have bearish divergence on the daily, it looks like. Let's pull out the RSI and see if it shows up. If not, we'll drop the time frame. Not really. All right, RSI made a higher high actually. Let's go to the lower time frame here. See if we can see this divergence. Yeah, no, it's not really there. It was equal highs, so no. So notice where we are on the chart. We're back down to support here at the top of the green zone. So simply put, you want to see this hold as support. You want to see this low really hold as support. If this loses, okay, notice where the stop loss is placed. I didn't take this trade, I just set it up. It looks like it's very possible that we come back down and test this trend line again. I would be careful with sand here, especially with the midterms about to end. Again, my plan is to not force anything. I don't really see anything worthwhile on this chart unless this support level holds. Okay, if this support holds and then we start to kind of go up again and take another re-attack at this resistance at this supply zone, then you would expect a continuation. But yeah, I don't love this. I don't love this. My bias is still bullish. Okay, so we're at support and we have a demand zone right here on our 4-hour chart. We have this demand level at 84 to 86 cents. Okay, so my bias is bullish. If you want to force an entry, this would be the time to force it, but I don't condone that. It can be completely up to you. Yeah, that's sand. Again, but we broke this trend line. We broke this daily trend line. We retested the level. We retested demand, and we started to take off. But we're getting rejected from the supply zone. So we're at support. If you want to be a support buyer, which you should look to enter at support, not at resistance, you're at support now. All right, so that's sand. Holding support as of right now. You want to see that continue to hold, or we have more downside. Very simple. Catch up with this live chat. Moby saying, thanks, Connor. Accumulation for life-changing gains. Yes, sir. Andrea says, you're literally the only one I keep watching crypto videos, and that's because you're honest. Much appreciated. Andrea, thank you. I'm glad that you can see that I'm just being myself up here. I'm just being real, and I'm glad that you like that. Shout out to Michael saying, nice to have you back. Connor, hope all is well. Going well at your end. Going all well over here, Michael. Doing very good. Thank you for asking. Take a look at Ren protocol. I was actually looking at Ren around 2 days ago. So let's just set up some clear parameters here on Ren. We already have the range high. Let's go to a weekly chart. So on Ren, so anybody else who was in the market with me in 2020 before the bull run should remember this range on Ren. I was actually buying Ren in this range back here in 2020. Right, I remember this super choppy range, and then we went vertical on the breakout. So if we look where we are now on Ren, price is trying to basically reclaim this range from 2020. It's struggling to get back into it. We wicked to the range low, the previous range low this week. All right, so Ren is bullish down here. Let me set up another range. We have another range happening on Ren. We got a range below a range here. All right, notice this range from 16 cents down to 10 cents. This is what we're currently in. And price is simply trying to get back into this range here. So what do? You basically, you look to front run a breakout back into the range. That's how I would trade it. Right? I would look to trade the front. I would front run the breakout back in. Now this wick is ugly. Right? This indicates that there's a lot of selling right here at 16 cents. So we need to pull a Fibonacci is what we need to do right now. So if we pull a fib from the swing high of the range down to the swing low, we are currently, this wick, I'm going to use this wick instead. I don't fully trust the super long wick up, so I'll use this high. So we are below mid-range. We're below the 50%. 50% at a pretty obvious level too. Okay, so as of right now, it's likely that price comes back down and at least to around here at 11.5. I like 11.5 cents as a level that I would look to get in on support. Right, so you have options. Your options: be a support buyer or trade the breakout. Right, those are your two options with Ren. It's bullish down here. Okay, this is towards the bottom. It's been down here just like all the other coins for like 5-6 months. If we pull a date and time measurement, it's been down here for 183 days. That's 6 months. We've been in this range, like I said, from 16 cents down to really the low is at 8 cents. Right, this is a bottom accumulation. Price is making higher lows. We have the first bottom, higher low here, trying to get back into this range. So again, 11.5 cents is a support level that I would be watching for an opportunity to hop in. And that's right at our 78.6 of this local fractal. All right, so Ren, 12.2, 11.5. This is your basically support demand entry. Right here on Ren. Okay, and then you would basically buy this anticipating price to come into this zone, hold, then push out and get back into this range. And that's when you would look to be a seller, when price is back in the range. That's your trading plan on Ren. That's my trading plan at least. And this would be a target, so let's just kind of tee this up. Put my stop like right around here. Risking 10% to make 96%. Yeah, that's a pretty good risk reward trade right here on Ren on your higher term time frames. This is obviously a swing trade. This is not a day trade. It's not going to happen in 24 hours. But if you have the patience to wait a few weeks, this looks like a viable opportunity here in the market. I like this basing pattern, simply put. The reason I'm giving you this trade outline is because of this 6-month basing pattern that we are seeing. A lot of other coins have recently broken out of this 6-month basing pattern, which we've been trading here. One of them, Bitcoin Cash too. Bitcoin Cash, I gave you my plan on BCH is to look for price to come back down to $118 to $116. And that's kind of happening right now. We haven't gotten the full pullback yet that I'm looking for into this box, but it's happening, okay? So that my plan is the same. I'm looking for demand zone support entry still. So that was Ren. BCH plan is unchanged. All right, my plan is still to wait for price to come to 118 to 116 to look for another entry on this trade. Already killed it with this. We took this breakout again down here below 116 because we had the daily trendline breakout. Super obvious. Super obvious breakout. We got the initial pump. And if you look at my Discord, this was the scalp target right here at 125. And we got that exactly at 126. Now we pulled back. All right, so that's your trading plan right there in Bitcoin Cash. What about shorting band? I'm not going to short it. Could definitely come all the way back down, but I'm just going to leave it. We got Trucker Steve saying, Trucker in the house live finally. Always looking forward to your knowledge. Greatly appreciate. Use your Bitget link. I'll be dabbling in some shorts and longs. Awesome. Awesome, Steve. Good to see you. Thanks for your support. Red Star saying, hi, Connor. Any thoughts on ANKR? No thoughts on Anchor. I know it's a solid coin. It's got some very solid connections, solid team, good project. Let's take a look at the price chart, and then I want to go over some news, some current events happening right now. So ANKR, similar to what we were just talking about on REN, right? This is a bottom basing pattern playing out. This has been going sideways now for 179 days. So approaching 7 months of sideways price action down here. Very obvious here at 2.5 cents is like your ideal entry. If we ever come back down to 2.5, that's where you would want to buy a lot of ANKR. And this is a demand zone from all the way back here in 2021. The consolidation before price went ahead and topped out. Now, thoughts on ANKR? No thoughts. It's in its bottom basing pattern. Now, depending on how you draw your trend lines, this one broke. Let's go to a weekly price chart. Should get an overall feel. Okay, so this is looking good on the weekly and the daily as well too. Weekly and daily, we are above the main resistance trend line on Anchor. So for this, look for a push to the top of the green zone at 4 cents. And from current price, that's a gain of 35%. All right, so if we see Anchor pump 35% this week, you heard it here first. So you still get a 2.96 to 1 even if you risk 12. So it's decent, and then you would look for the bigger move once price flips this resistance. That's when you would look for the continuation upwards. But Anchor in the bottoming basing pattern down here, so this is when you want to be in accumulation mode, especially if you're bullish on this as an altcoin and you want it to be one of your investments for the next bull run. Still a good time to buy this, and you'll probably have more opportunities of it hanging out down here, around here, for a while going forward. Let's get into our Twitter wisdom right now. And let's talk about what's happening between Binance, CZ, and Sam over at FTX. So there has been a lot of releases recently talking about Alameda Research and FTX being insolvent. The FTT token, which is FTX's exchange coin, just like BNB is Binance's exchange coin, is under a lot of scrutiny right now because, lo and behold, Alameda Research owns basically like 99% of the supply of this token. There's no liquidity for it, and they have a very sketchy type of flywheel, very similar to how the Celsius network token was formed and run. So FTT and FTX in hot water right now. We're well aware that FTX just had a bunch of venture capitalist money and they launched a bunch of projects to just take money from retail. So when it comes to ethics, this exchange doesn't have any. They don't care. They'll take your money. They're sharks in the water. But now the main thing is CZ and Binance is basically throwing a little bit of shade because of this, and it's just a very interesting thing playing out. Now, if we look at the FTT chart, it looks very dismal. If we look at FTT here, this is our daily, not looking too good. Shorts did get squeezed earlier. Now, the thing is, FTX is not going anywhere. Sam is not going anywhere. Okay? I would not bet against him. I would not say that that Sam is going to go insolvent and FTX is going to close down shop. Let's not forget, this guy donated over $1 billion to the current presidential campaign back in 2020. Like, he is a poster boy. He's a poster child. He's a puppet. Okay, so he's not going anywhere. He's put there for a reason. So you can hate on it. You can hate on it all you want. But my thoughts long term, nothing's gonna happen here. This will all blow over. It's gonna roll over like nothing happened. A bunch of drama right now, but it's all short term in my opinion. FTX is not going anywhere. FTT is not going anywhere. Could it crash here? If we look at a weekly chart, yes, this could definitely crash. This looks horrible. Reason it looks horrible, we have the horizontal support level, and we just have the continuous lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Nobody is buying this coin except for Alameda Research. There's no demand for this thing, which is why you would look for this support break. Okay, on the support break, the level that I would look for it to come to is going to be here, starting at $13. So I'm not going to touch this. I don't feel like getting short squeezed. There's going to be a lot of manipulation. If Alameda owns all of the tokens, they can easily play with the price. I don't want anything to do with it, so I'm not going to trade it. But just looking at this from an analytical standpoint, I would look for this to come down to around $12 to $13 next. Just off of this pattern here, this is a descending triangle. When we have continuous lower highs, these lower highs, all they do is represent the lack of buyers stepping in on every single bounce. Every single bounce is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Now we're at the lowest support level. And with all this FUD, this is definitely on breakdown watch. But again, long term, I think this is all going to blow over. Nothing's going to happen. But it's interesting to see all this play out here in the short term right now. Now, talking about some other current events, we have some breaking news saying the SEC issues subpoena to influencers promoting Hex, Pulse Chain, and PulseX. The SEC issued the subpoena as part of the investigation, which demanded the influencers in question produce the required documents by November 15th, 2022, which is in just over 1 week right now. So Hex is Richard Hart's coin. Richard Hart right now on social media, I think he's getting like banned, or you can't reply to his tweets. He's getting attacked right now. He's getting attacked hard. This Hex is in the crosshairs. Now, listen, Hex, it's obviously a scam, right? Like, don't think it's good. Like, Richard Hart is the best marketer you're gonna ever find. He's a professional marketer. There's nobody better than him, which is why Hex has had the success that it's had. All right, so I'm not saying that his projects can't do well, but this is a long time coming. Like, just be objective for a second. Something like this was bound to happen at some point, right? A Ponzi scheme is when everybody who gets in early makes all the money. The people who were early in Hex, when they sell their tokens from the interest they've been accruing throughout the years, what's going to happen to the people that buy in today or in a month from now? They're going to get decimated. They're going to lose their entire investment. All right, so listen, I respect Richard Hart. He's a beast, right? He's a real one. He's a professional at what he does. But something like this was bound to happen eventually, so don't be surprised. I've never made any Hex videos on the channel, thankfully, right? Don't have to worry about any of this. But yeah, interesting news here, and it's only going to get worse, the crackdowns from regulators. This is just the beginning. They're going to try to crack down on everything because they only want one, which is their CBDC. So this is just the start. They're just going after the big fish, using this as an example, setting the tone. Now they're going to come after everybody else with everything else. That's their grand plan, really, because, again, they only want one, which is the CBDC, which is just slavery, a slavery future. So resist the slave mind and be aware of what's happening. Get yourself some decentralized cryptocurrency and figure out everything else in your life. But yeah, this is just the start of the attacks on altcoins. They're using Richard Hart as a example. And if they can pin him and actually charge him for something, it's just going to set the precedent to go after everything else. That's just how it works, okay? So that's some current events today to go over, not really TA related, but good to share as well, just so that we're all on the same sheet of music on what's happening with the current events in the crypto market. Let's catch up on what's happening in the live chat right now. Mamoon asking thoughts on Caspa. Somebody asked me about Caspa in yesterday's live stream, and it's a low cap altcoin that's been going parabolic. I would not touch it right now after it's already gone parabolic. From the breakout, it's up 120%. Is there more on the table? Sure. But I would not touch this after it's already broken out. I would not want to be late. And again, we're still, in a bear market, and your trading profits go so much further in a bear market. Like if you're trading and you make one Bitcoin right now costs 21K. So you make 20K trading in a week. You can buy one Bitcoin. In a bull market, you make 20K trading, still an amazing week, but you'd only be able to buy less than half of a Bitcoin. So your profits go so much further right now in a bear market, which is why you should not be forcing anything, right? Your gains, you need to preserve and reinvest those and not give them back to the market. And if you're buying Caspa up here, you're putting yourself in a very vulnerable position to give your gains back to the market. All right, so preservation is key right now. Making the correct moves is key. And if you give profits away by FOMOing into things that just pumped 120%, you're playing the game totally wrong. That's how I would not recommend playing the game right now. Into the Cosmos saying, look how Bitcoin reacting down here. This is bullish AF. Dollar gonna fall today. Oh my God, we gonna moon. Dollar right now is falling today. Tried to reclaim the parabola, but hard rejection from that attempted reclaim. All happening on today's daily candle. Hard rejection up here in supply at 113. So yeah, this is a bearish looking chart on the dollar. Does not look good. We broke the parabola, tried to reclaim the parabola, failed. So you would expect the trend to continue down, all right, which is bullish for crypto. Into the Cosmos, thank you for pointing that dollar out to me. I didn't take a look at it yet today. And yeah, Bitcoin is holding the support level. This is still bullish, right? As long as this can hold, very good. Again, your upside targets, 21.7 and 22.7 for your upside targets on Bitcoin here out of this flag. As long as this support can continue to hold, that's still a go. Amstercam saying, greetings Connor, just been shifting all my crypto off of FTX, almost done. Good point, Amstercam, right? This article comparing FTX to Celsius. 3 days before the Celsius collapse, I was live on YouTube. This was in May of this year. I was live on YouTube telling you to get all of your money off of Celsius. A few days later, Celsius stopped all withdrawals. So I know I saved a ton of people. Not that I take credit for that, but it's good to see people took action and weren't like people's money are still locked in Celsius. Hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars of people's personal assets locked in Celsius still. You don't want to see that happen with FTX. So if you're on FTX, yes, the thing to do is get all of your money off of that exchange. Sign up with Bitget. Use my link down in the description below. I appreciate your support. Alfredo saying, what do you think about the markets? 20 out of 20 times the overall markets have been in an uptrend 12 months after midterms. Yeah, I mean, I think we have some more upside here in the short term from 21.7 to 22.7K. I think we're close to a macro bottom, but I also do think we will most likely, after the midterms, sometime late this year in 2022 or early next year in 2023, come back down and revisit lows below $18,000. Andrea is saying, do you think Ren is good to accumulate long term? Do you trust the project? Yes, I trust Ren. Ren is not going anywhere. Ren is a good long term. It's not on my list personally, but it's not gonna rug you basically, which is good. And if we look how far down it is from its all-time high, Ren is down 93%, so you're definitely not buying the top here. I think you can get a 10x out of Ren very easy. Let's talk about that for a second. Easy gains, right, for the next bull market. What should be on your list? Chainlink. Chainlink should be at the top of your list for an easy gain. Okay, everybody loves quant. Let's talk about Link. Like, Link is such an easy gainer for the next bull run, in my opinion. Definitely like an easy 10x. Link to $80 is kind of inevitable, in my opinion. All-time highs are around 50, 53 right now. I think 80 is inevitable for the next bull run, right? So if you're looking for just kind of a nice at-bat little swing 10x for the next bull run, not financial advice, Chainlink is one of the most obvious ones in the market. So you can go Ren or you can go Link if you're looking for some kind of 10x, but I would pick Link over that, and I have Link. Red Start saying, best channel, period. Thank you, Connor. Red Start, thank you for your support. I really appreciate that. Guys, we have 60 viewers and only 33 likes. What is going on? Smash that like button right now. I appreciate your support. Sniff saying, when you follow the money and corruption all... Sniff, we can't talk about that on stream, man. Come on. Come on. Let's see. Matt Moon saying, thanks, Connor. There's a new scalable layer 1 proof of work blockchain that might pull off tons of X's like Haspa and Kadena called RXD. Interesting. RXD, we'll look at that real quick. So it's not on any exchanges but TXBit. Yeah, listen, I have my low caps. Thank you for bringing this one up. I'll look into it after the stream, but I have my personal super micro cap picks. So I'm not going to touch RXD personally, but yeah, if you want to invest in that, go for it. I hope it works out. Alpha TA with us today saying, look at the dollar on the monthly. Just broke out, headed to 120. Let's look at the dollar on the monthly. Not really. I mean, so I have an opposite kind of. It was going parabolic, and now it broke the parabola to the downside. This is a base support breach, which is extremely bearish. So, if you're talking about the breakouts, it broke the parabola. My bias is down because of that. Charts say lower. Charts say lower for the dollar, in my opinion. Riley Hall saying, hey, Connor, good to have you here. What's your thoughts on Solana? So Solana had the big Google Cloud news a few days ago, and we got the pump because of that. Hit the targets that I outlined at 34.69 and then 37.38. Thoughts now on Sol? I mean, this daily candle is super ugly, but look where we are. All right, I already have my gray box there to mark out where we are. We're in a demand level. This is a previous top, previous resistance, now support. Okay, so thoughts on Solana? We're at support. Notice some buyers stepping in with this wick. Also at this trend line. Yeah. Again, the market's in a spot where I was early to all of the pumps and I caught all of them, so I'm not forcing anything right now. In terms of trades, if we're just looking at it from an analytical standpoint, we're at support right now from an analytical standpoint. If we pull a fib from the swing high to the swing low down here, we have our 50% right here at $32.80. That is smack dab in the middle between my two gray boxes on the screen. All right, so most likely Solana is going to find its short-term bottom from this pullback between $34 down to 32. Right, this is going to be the local bottom most likely for Solana from what I am seeing right now. Our 50% again is at 32.81. The 50% Fibonacci retracement of this move. You would expect a nice correction after this vertical move. This was also speculation. It was based off of news from Google Cloud. So we're seeing the evidence sell off from that now, breaking this trend line. I would not be surprised to see the 50% get tested at 32.81 on Solana, and then you would look for higher continuation. Sniff's asking, Check out Rebus. Preview only, sniff. Or Cosmos project. I'll look into it. Andrea, Connor, you charted a mute for me and told me to wait for a pullback. Still waiting on that. Let's look at it. So sometimes the pullback, So I'm assuming that I told you to wait for this yellow line and it never got there. Instead, if we look at what happened, we went to the demand zone. All right, this is a rally-based rally. And price pulled back to this level on a wick. So this is tough because this is on Uniswap, so it's only market orders, right? It's Uniswap, so you can only trade market orders. So you can't set limit orders for this, which means you just have to ape in when you want to get into it. So the pullback came to demand. You have supply up here. It's in no man's land right now. Let's check the market cap of Mute. I'm guessing it's going to be very low. Market cap is 22.8 million, so not the lowest. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't buy this, but if you want to, your weekly support is here at 0.00311. So this gray box, pretty close to current price for something like this. I don't like doing TA on these low caps only on Uniswap though. I would never trade these personally. Michael's saying, Connor, why are you so bullish on HBER, Casper, Elrond, Cosmos, and not KDA? Do you consider KDA one of the best good projects out there, but easily to make 100 next bull run? So I have nothing against Kadena, but I like HBER because big money backs it. I like Casper again. Enterprise level, big money backs it. Elrond has basically the best technology out there when it comes to layer ones. And Cosmos Atom is the internet of blockchains. Nothing else really compares with it. So all of those have their own unique selling points that nothing can really top. Kadena, yeah, Kadena is good as well. It will do well. I'm not saying it's going to do bad. It might do better than some of the other ones that I like, but I don't own any Kadena right now. If we look at Kadena, interesting, broke the trend line, back testing it. This does look ready to get absolutely sent from a technical analysis standpoint. Reason I say that is look where we're below. We're below all these yellow lines, all this previous support, now resistance. We're below all of that. We just broke this trend line here, and now we're retesting it. So from here in Kadena, I would trade this actually. This looks, like I said earlier, I would only trade if something is screaming at me to enter. This looks to be just that, right? This looks super good on Kadena here. I just checked the time. We've already been going for 54 minutes. 54 minutes straight. Crazy how fast time does go. But yeah, Kadena here from a technical standpoint, crazy bullish. This is where it would make sense to be a buyer on KDA. Makes a lot of sense to be a buyer right here. So if we set up a little trade, all right, this log scale is killing me. Turn it off. So on KDA, you are looking risking 7.3% to make 35%. That's a 4.9 to 1 risk reward on Kadena here to the top of the previous range at $1.84. Currently at $1.35. This is your trade idea for the day on Kadena. We'll report back and see how this one goes. But yeah, this looks super good. And RSR at resistance. I gave you all the entry down here before price broke out. Right here on the channel. Now what's happening? Price at resistance trying to get above. Yeah, this is still looking pretty good. Resistance is holding still. I don't like these wicks on the 4-hour into the supply zone getting rejected. The local price action in the short term doesn't look amazing to me. I do have the feeling, though, that everything's just going to start pumping to start the week because of midterms. So if that happens, this resistance is going to get smashed very quickly. And we'll head to that target 0.00861 up here at this yellow dotted line. But again, I gave you all the entry for this one. So I can't say to get in now, right? It's not a good time to get in now. The time to get in was when I originally told you between 0.0066 and 0.00605, right down here. Now is when you should be taking profits at your first resistance. So yeah, that's RSR right now. When it comes to spot long-term accumulation, very good time for RSR. I think RSR is a good pick in terms of one of your investment bags for the next bull run. Not financial advice, but I own RSR for that exact scenario, right? I own a nice healthy amount of it, waiting for it to take off during the next bull run. So long-term accumulation, 0.00723, great price. Trade, too late to enter into the long trade here. Now is when you should be taking profit. Rebus is a new token on Cosmos. They airdropped me 600 tokens. All right, so I need to go claim that after my stream. I will do that. MZI Yonda saying check out AGIX. We'll also look at Fed AI. Okay, so this is taking off. Let's go to a daily chart. Yeah, I mean, the real breakout hasn't really even started yet with this. This has a lot of room to recapture lost ground, and the real breakout's actually going to start here at 8 cents. So if you buy it now, for sure it can come back down to support down here, but the real breakout is going to be when this yellow line is flipped, and then it goes vertical again. That's like the bull market breakout, of course. We're on a daily time frame looking at a log scale chart, so this is not going to happen. This is going to happen over weeks to months. But yeah, the real breakout is going to be at 7.5 cents. So you could get in now, but you're buying after a pump. But if you want to secure the bag on this, then now is a decent time. But to the apex of this wedge, it's February. So this could go sideways below here for a while still. I'm not in AGIX, but I am in FET. FET is my AI pick personally. I've explained why on the channel many times in videos that I've made about FET. And if we look at FET AI on the daily again, this has not broken out like Singularity has. This is trying to break out. The wick on the daily today was rejected. So FET when it comes to spot buying, now is when you should be doing that. That's what I'm doing, right? You can do whatever you want, NFA. But yeah, now is when you want to be accumulating this. Been basing at the bottom for 5 months, 150 days. So yeah, FET, Singularity breaking out. FET in the same category, artificial intelligence, hasn't broken out yet. So this would make more sense to me. And I'm a public supporter of FET AI, so... Yes, we just got a 199 super chat from All Day Dre saying Emperor going on 2 years with the Empire, hashtag grateful. Yes, Dre, 2 years, crazy. March of 2023 will mark 2 years that Crypto Empire has been in existence. You were one of the original members here, and I'm extremely grateful for your support from the beginning. You're an OG here, and you're in every single live stream. You run this chat. I mean, I'm very grateful for you as well, Dre. Thank you for everything that you do for the community here. Thank you for that 199 super chat as well. Dr. Niraj Moore saying, hi, I need your insight on Sushi Swap. Will price reach up to $5? And again, bottom up at $2. Sushi at resistance, trying to pop it. We just got a $4.99 super chat from Dave. Thank you, Dave. He gave a little dog emoji with that super chat. I appreciate your support. Thank you for that $4.99 super chat. It means a lot. Thank you for the support. So Sushi at resistance here. $5, yes, it can definitely go to $5. If that's your question. It can definitely go to $5. Up here. Watch for a rejection from this level and a pullback to this at 160. I like 160 as a support entry on Sushi. And that's right at our 38.2. So we have some nice confluence. So this would be my plan on Sushi. 160 if you're looking for a long. And yes, price can go to $5, Dr. Niraj Moore. Do you have any open order now? So yes, I am still long on Chili's. I'm in open trades. I'm long Chili's. I'm long VeChain. I'm long H-bar. Already took profit on VeChain and also Chili's. I took profit some, and I'm also long on Bitcoin Cash as well. I took profit at 125. Stop losses at break even. And those are my current positions. Somebody asking about Gala Games. So Gala had the hack. Okay, so Gala now rejected at resistance after the hack, had a nice recovery pump from the wick low to this. It was a 60% move. So a very nice recovery on Gala, shows that the community bought up the dip. People bought up this dip with gusto. Your support level is at 3.7 cents to 3.6 cents for Gala. And the move here is a break of this support resistance flip at 4 cents, 3.974. The move is to look for this break and trade it. Okay, so you can buy below. You can definitely buy below this level at 3.9, 4 cents and take the breakout. When this moves, it's going to move very quick. It's going to move very quickly. First scalp target is going to be at 5.2 cents. And then your next target is going to be at 7 cents for Gala. Looking for a breakout above 3.9. Yeah, I like it. Let's go over another trade opportunity. Serum, SRM. So Serum is a lot like QRDO, where we are in a long-term kind of downtrend at the bottom, going sideways again for months. Everybody should be paying close attention right now if you're looking for a spot trade. This one's kind of written on the wall. If you're looking for something that's a very high probability to play out, every time you take a trade, there is always probabilities. No matter how good the setup looks, even if it's the best setup in the world and you have an 80% chance of winning and a 20% chance of losing, you can still lose. It's all probabilities. If you're looking for a high probability trade, this is one. SRM. You want to trade the breakout of 83 cents. All right, so you can, if you have patience and you're not in a rush right now, you can go ahead and enter on the pullback here below 83 cents. That's your first option. Basically just front running the breakout. Your second option is to buy on the actual move above 83. You enter. That's your second option. Your third option to get into this is to buy after it breaks out and retest the breakout. This is when you get long in anticipation of the move up. Your targets on this trade, 112, 136, and 164. $1.64, $1.36, and then $1.12. But again, a very high probability looking trade here on SRM. Trying to break out above this trend line. This is the bear market trend line going all the way back to the highs in September of 2021. That's the all-time high of SRM. And we are now at that resistance. This is a lot like Bitcoin Cash, where it's breaking the long-term bear market trend line. We have the opportunity to front run that breakout right here, right now. So if you're looking for a high probability trade, this is one here. Anna Maria says, you are the best in this market. Anna Maria, thank you so much for your support. Just doing what I love out here, that's all. Glad that you can get some value from what I'm saying here on the channel. And yeah, I think to myself, like, man, my channel is so small compared to a lot of others out there. I'm just grateful for everybody who supports me, who found me so early, because I'm never going to stop, by the way. I'm taking this to the moon. So you guys are very early here. So yeah, you guys are getting all this stuff while the world doesn't really know. Just stick with me and we'll go to the top together, because I know where I'm going and I'm the captain of this ship. Now, if we look at LCX, we put a line at our main resistance level on the chart at 7.47 cents. So many pumps yesterday, all getting obliterated today. We've seen so many charts. We've looked at so many charts where we had a huge green day and just a big fat red candle erasing all of the gains today. That's not what we want to see. These indicate false breakout moves. So LCX, it was a beautiful descending wedge breakout, but you know, it's not holding. All right, the breakout is not holding. Possibly just a nice retest of the breakout here. This is technically a demand zone on the 4-hour. Okay, so what I would do, what do I think is going to happen here? I would look for a retest of this trend line as a point to get in. If you want to hop in, we're pretty close to it. We're very close to this line. It's only, actually we're not, it's 5% away. So I would look for a little further drop on this. If you wanted to buy this LCX token. See, Ramona giving some emojis. And Andrea asking, hey Connor, what would you consider $1,000 profit on a trade? Is that decent profit or high profit? Listen, $1,000 is $1,000, right? Like a grand is a grand, a rack is a rack. It's good. It's a nice little sum of money. $1,000 isn't what it used to be, but the thing with money that's very important to understand is that the amounts are always going to be relative. $1,000 might be a lot of money to you, to somebody worth, 8 figures, $10 million. $1,000 is nothing. It's all relative. So it depends what your account size is, right? If you have an account size of $10,000, right, which is a good amount to be trading with, that's really kind of a minimum you should be trading with in a way, especially if you're using leverage. $1,000 is 10% of that. The annual return on the legacy markets is like 8% for the S&P over time. So 10% of an account of a $10,000 account. That's very good, and then you build it from there. So yeah, I mean, it's all relative depending on what your account size currently is on your personal financial situation. But at the end of the day, $1,000 is $1,000, and yeah, that's a nice little amount of money that you can, use to upgrade your life, or just keep on using that to invest and turn that money into more money. So to answer your question, Andrea, money is relative. It's all relative, right? In my early stages, $1,000 win was huge as a trader. Now it's like that novelty wears off. So yeah, it's all relative to answer that question. But all right, guys, we've been going for well over an hour right now. So we are going to start wrapping up this Crypto Empire Sunday live stream. I hope that you guys did enjoy the stream. Very big, exciting week upcoming with the midterm elections. Bitcoin, one last time, if we look at it. If we look at this chart here, looks like we're about to lose this support level. So again, below 20,738 is my line in the sand. If we lose 20,738, it's going to get very ugly. But even if we dip down to that, we can still recover quickly and start moving up for these midterms this week. But November 9th is the big day. November 9th is the day after the midterms. And we're going to find out what the market is actually going to want to do after that day. All right, so I will be updating every single one of you guys right here in the YouTube channel throughout the week. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, smash up the like button right now. And I greatly appreciate everybody's support here at Crypto Empire, where we dominate the market. I'll see you all very soon in my next video. I will be also in my Telegram. If you have any questions, join the free Telegram group. And if you want access to me exclusively, join the Discord, where you can really fire away and get all of my knowledge and what I am doing, all of my buys and sells in real time. Thank you all for your support during the live stream. I will see you all very soon in the next video. Have an amazing rest of your weekend. If it's already Monday where you are in the world, I know we have a lot of Aussies in attendance. If you're in New Zealand, if you're in Asia, happy Monday to you. Have an amazing start to your week. Do what you got to do to get where you want to get. I'll see you all on the winning side.